Hey everyone, this is Faisal, certified high performance coach and a lifelong student of philosophy, spirituality, and sciences. So, challenge day 5. Before I begin this episode, this challenge, I wanna take the time to thank, commend, and honor all of those people who are commenting, who are answering the questions, who are thinking about their life, who are so dedicated to their personal development, to making their life better and making the lives of the people around them better. And I also wanted to address all those people who are hiding behind the curtain, who are considering commenting, who are considering answering the questions, who are considering participating, but they're stopped by their fears of not communicating their ideas properly. Their fear is of not having the proper grammar or proper communication skills or language skills, or their fears of being judged for what they think. Their fears of not appearing intelligent enough. Well, I'll give you a secret. Everybody has those fears. I have those fears. But when you make the choice between your fear and between your ability to do what will make you better in life, when you make the decision to be courageous, to be bold in life, to do something that could have the potential to change your life, you will always grow. You will always grow as a person. You will make your life better, and consequently you will make the lives of the people around you better. You will raise the quality of your life just because of that decision, just because you moved out of your comfort zone. So again, I encourage you guys to start participating. I'm creating these questions, these videos, these discussions because I know that it'll make a difference in your life. But the conditions are that you have to think about the questions, you have to answer them, you have to participate in the discussions, look at other people's answers, and before you know it, it might give you, it will definitely give you ideas towards creating a better life for yourself, to understanding your life better, to understanding your relationships better, to understanding your purpose better. So go ahead and comment, share, and like the videos. And another thing I wanted to bring up is when you guys are commenting and posting your answers, always go back to the original post on my page, because that way everybody else can see your comments and answers, and that it's a real discussion between each other. So again, thank you guys for doing all that you're doing. So today's challenge is about expectations. I have 2 questions for you regarding expectations. Question number 1, do you live your life based on your standards, your guidance system, your internal guidance system, or do you live your life based on the expectations set for you by your parents, your family, your environment, your society, or the institutions around you, or any other form of authority figure or institution? So again, do you live your life based on your standards, or do you live your life based on the expectations set for you? And question number 2, if there weren't too many expectations, or there weren't any expectations or standards set for you by society, by religion, by people, by parents, by family, what would you be doing differently now? What is it that you would be doing differently? I want you to think about this. I know it's a hard question, and it'll take some creative thinking to come up with an answer, but think about it and come up with the answer. When it comes to expectations, I've learned through many years of thinking about this, researching this, and contemplating on the matter, and experiencing so much of my life and observing other people, that the expectations, there's nothing really wrong with expectations in themselves, and many expectations could be natural. For example, the expectations of a community or society or a social group to take care of each other, to contribute, to serve each other, it's a very natural one. Because why? Because we're human beings, and when you define the human species, we always start with a family unit. We're born into a family unit of a bunch of people. And it used to be that. It used to be quite a few people that were around us all the time. And a lot of areas in the world that's still the case. But let's say the Western society is becoming more individualistic. But those natural tendencies that we have to contribute, to serve, to please one another, they're still, to some extent, very natural. But the problem with expectations come around when expectations start to become as a way to one, either control people or as a way to fill the void within people's lives. So what do I mean by that? So let's think of it in terms of a family. So let's say parents have a child, and they already have an expectation of how their child, what their child will do growing up. And I'm not saying you're one of those, but there are many parents, many families who bring up their children with expectations of doing something, of achieving something, being something. So what ends up happening is that expectation from that child contradicts with the expectation from his or her own internal guidance system. And when it comes to internal guidance system, I've discovered that our internal guidance system is our joy, our happiness. So when we feel happy about something, when we feel joyful to do something, then we're following our internal guidance system. And ideally, if the internal guidance system, if your happiness is in line with your environment, they both support each other, then you have a balanced system. But what ends up happening is that for many people, they truly want something else, but the expectations in their environment contradicts what they want. And to be accepted into their environment, into their family, into society, they end up doing something that they regret in the long run. I want to give another example. This is more from the Western perspective. If you think about the American dream, there's this expectation, there's a standard set by society for many, and this has been tested and done to death over and over, that the whole idea of American dream, where you work yourself to death, create a status, create a bunch of numbers in your bank account over the course of 30 or 40 years, at the cost of your health, at the cost of your relationships, at the cost of your sanity, at the cost of everything that is important naturally in your life, just to have some numbers in your account and some fame. And there have been people who have achieved that in exactly that order, and many people over and over. But what ends up happening when you study these things, when you study these people, they realize after 30 or 40 years of their life that they only did that because it was expected of them by society. I'm not saying that everybody did that, but and there were people who did it because they loved what they were doing and they were happy because of it. It's not against people who have made money. There's nothing wrong with that. But people who follow that standard of set by society, the American dream standard, where everybody's going towards the same fame, status, and money, they realize after years down the road that, wait, they could have been much happier, they could have been much fulfilled, they could have had a fulfilling life if they had just followed their own guidance system, if they had just followed what made them happy. So again, that's why I think expectations in themselves are not negative, but expectations created unnaturally by societies, by cultures, by families, they create a problem between our natural guidance system and what people expect us to do. So for me, expectations, answering the first question, do I set my standards or follow the expectations given to me by society? So after the explanation, you probably know that I realized after a while that if I'm going to be fulfilled in life, if I'm going to be happy, if I'm going to be to be able to contribute to my family, to society, to the world as a whole, I have to follow my internal guidance system. I have to follow my happiness, my joy, and this is my happiness and joy. And when you study happiness, when we study positive psychology, we've learned that when we go towards the things that make us happy, and even spiritually, our guidance system is internal. We always know what we want. It's just that there's always a contradiction between what we want and what others expect from us. And we have to come to a point where we make a decision between, probably a middle path, where we realize what is important to us and what happens down the road if I make this decision based on other people's expectation or based on what I love to do. And again, I've found that when we follow our internal guidance system, we always go towards something that's a life that's more fulfilling, a life that's more joyful, a life that has better relationships. There's more compassion, there's more purpose. And the second question was, what would you do if there were no expectations set for you by society, by your parents, by your family, by the world as a whole? What would you do differently? And I asked this question for myself about 2 years ago now, and I had to actually sit down and realize that what I truly want to do might be in conflict with what my family expects of me. What I truly want to do might be in conflict with society expects of me. What I truly want to do might be in conflict with many things in my environment. But I had to follow my own guidance system, regardless of the challenges, regardless of the disagreements, regardless of the disapprovals. I had to follow my own guidance system, and I can tell you that in these 2 years, it hasn't been easy, but I have always found peace, love, and joy within myself, regardless of what circumstances I'm faced with. So again, this is what I would do, and this is what I made a decision. This is the decision I made 2 years ago when I decided that I have to set standards for myself based on my own guidance system, my happiness, my joy. So again, now I want to hear from you guys. Question number 1, do you live your life based on the standards or expectations set by your family, society, or the world as a whole? And question number 2, if there weren't these expectations, these standards around you set for you, what would you do differently? I want you to really think about these questions. I know they might be hard for some of you, but this will help you think creatively and differently about your life. And you might think the same exact way as you have been. But again, it's a thinking exercise and it's a creative exercise. So go ahead and try it, and I'd love to hear from you. So don't forget to like and share the videos. And don't forget to post your answers in the comment section, and post it in the main page and not in the shared post. So always go back to my page. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day. Bye. If you loved or even liked the video or this episode, you can do 2 things right now. 1, you can click on the subscribe tab right here on the screen, or in the info area if you can't click on the screen, so you're up to date on all my free training, on all the free training that I send on my YouTube channel on a regular basis. And 2, you can click on the success indicator tab on the screen or in the info section, so you can get the training, the thorough training that I created for you, that has 10 factors that will determine whether or not you will be successful at anything that you do or want to do. And it will also help you create more success at anything that you want to do in life. So, and this will also get you subscribed to my newsletter, so I can send you more of these free training on a regular basis that I don't post on my YouTube channel. So make sure you click on those two buttons or tabs, and make sure you like and share this video. Make sure you post your comments in the comment section below so we can get more people involved in our community right here. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye.